In this video, we're going to solve equations by combining like terms. So if you look at the example they give us, you'll see we have 2y minus 7 minus 4y. And then on the other side, we have 3 plus 3y. So we have y twice on the left side of the equal sign and once on the right side. So anytime you have a chance to combine like terms on one side of the equal sign, you'd like to do that. So you'll notice that they're going to combine the 2y and the negative 4y to get negative 2y, and then they solve the problem. Okay, so I definitely want to try to practice a few of these problems. We'll walk through a couple more of their examples. So this time we have an x on one side, actually two x's, right? We have an x and another x on the left side of the equal sign, and an x on the right side. So again, if we can combine like terms, always we want to remove the parentheses by distributing. And then we want to combine like terms, right? So the 5x and the negative 3x becomes 2x, and then you work through the problem as usual, okay? They give you another example. So I'm ready to jump right into some practice problems. So on page 87, maybe you want to pause the video for a moment just to read what's in this yellow box, right? These are good steps to solve linear equations with variables on both sides. And then we want to try to practice. So I'm going to start with number 10, but I want to rewrite number 10 maybe over here just so I have some more room to work through the problem. Okay, so if you want to get a head start, start working on number 10 while I rewrite and set up the problem. So for number 10, I've rewritten the problem. I would start by subtracting 2x from both sides. I'm left with 3x minus 3 equals minus 9. To finish the problem, I add 3 to both sides. And I'm left with 3x equals negative 6. Divide by 3. And you're left with x equals minus 2. Okay, so that one wasn't so bad. So let's take a look at number 16. 16 looks a little more challenging. A lot more work to do. So again, I'm going to rewrite number 16 somewhere up here. So I'll erase this work. So again, if you want to take a moment to copy the notes here, please feel free to pause the video and do so. Okay, so number 16 is now rewritten. So it looks like we have a lot of work to do. Usually, again, the first thing we want to do is get rid of the parentheses by distributing. So you see there's a negative here. Think of this as negative 1 being distributed and negative 1 being distributed on the other side as well. So I'm going to leave the negative 4x the way it is. Distribute negative times negative 4 is positive 4. Negative times negative 3x is positive 3x. And on the right side, the negative 3x comes down. The negative 2x comes down. I distribute the negative, so I get negative 3 plus 6x plus 1. Now you want to combine like terms where you can. So I have a negative 4x and a positive 3x. When I combine that, that leaves me with negative x plus 4. On the right side, I have a negative 3x, a negative 2x, and a positive 6x. So when I combine that, I have negative 5x plus 6x, which leaves me with just 1x. And then I have a negative 3 and a positive 1, which is minus 2. So we're almost there. If I now add x to both sides, I'm left with 4 equals 2x minus 2. Now I add 2 to both sides. This was a long problem. I get 6 equals 2x. And if I divide everything by 2, you get x equals 3, right? 6 divided by 2 is 3. All right, so that was a long problem, but it wasn't too bad. Maybe we'll try one more just to be safe. How about we do, whoops, I hit the wrong button. Let's do number 19. Okay, so I'll pause to give you a head start. and then we'll try number 19. Okay, so for number 19, I'm going to distribute the negative sign. So think of that as -1. -1 times x and -1 times 3. So the 6 comes down. I'm left with -x minus 3. The 8 comes down, and I distribute the -2. Don't forget the negative sign. So that's -2x plus 2. Okay. Now, let's see, what can we do? We can combine like terms. I have a 6 and a -3. So 6 minus 3 is 3 minus the x equals, now I have an 8 and a 2. That's 10. 10 minus 2x. And now to finish the problem, if I add x to both sides, I'm left with 3 equals 10. Looks like minus x. And if I subtract 10 from both sides, I'm left with -7 equals -x. So to get rid of the negative sign, you can divide both sides by -1 to get x equals 7. Okay, so that's number 19. So now let's look at number 14. Okay, so 14, I'm going to get rid of the parentheses by distributing the 3. So I'm left with 3y plus 9. And then I have to distribute the -3. So I'm left with 8y minus 3y minus 6. On the left side, there's nothing really to do, so it's just 3y plus 9. But on the right side, I can combine the 8y and the -3y to get 5y minus 6. Now, let's see. I can subtract 3y from both sides. I could have also subtracted 5y from both sides. It doesn't matter. And I'm left with, what is that, 2y minus 6. And then when I add 6 to both sides, I'm left with 15 equals 2y. Divide everything by 2. And you're left with 15 over 2 equals y. Okay. If you wrote 7.5 equals y, I would accept that too, right? Both answers are correct. So I'll put or, right? Either way is fine. So I hope that helps. What I'd like you to do is look at the next 2 pages. The answers are underneath. And, whoops. I definitely want you to look at the summary because, again, these are great ways to practice. Any questions you have, I'll be happy to answer through a Zoom chat session, but definitely work through the summary. Okay? Thank you for watching.